YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and we are back in the OTOMO campaign. I hope you all are ready for some fun. I've got something hot and spicy for you that we have added to this campaign, and that is a mod that reintroduces sinkable ships. I don't know why CA patched sinking ships out of the game. It's like almost impossible to sink a ship, and it really nerfs the black ship and the Nanban trade ship, and it's garbage. And I found a mod that fixes it, and it's great. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out for your own campaign. It's going to make this campaign much better for us, because we won't have to put up with all the crap from not being able to sink ships. Now, speaking of not being able to sink ships, permit me to demonstrate this new mod in a battle against the Date here. I'll actually use the black ship here, because it'll be the best for this presentation. So enjoy some hot, spicy sinking action in naval combat. Of course they would run away. I didn't catch which direction they ran. I'll keep the black ship close to port because we gotta keep it from being blockaded. And let's go search. Yeah, there they are. So we'll kill them with this fleet. I wanted to use the black ship, but this Nanban trade ship will do just fine. Y'all remember that scene from Harry Potter where Voldemort comes up like all strange and sticks his finger on Harry Potter and says, "I can touch you"? I feel like that right now with my cannons, except for that I can sink you. So yes, the age of the sinkening has returned, where CA can no longer cheat us of the fact that cannons have consequences. Yes, the mod may be called sinkable ships, but like I said, I call it cannons have consequences. So I do have some other ships here. We got Firebomb Kabaya and some Bo Kabaya, a Sengoku Bune, which I don't really need the Sengoku Bune a lot. I use them mainly when there's a ton of Bo Kabaya that basically my Nanban or black ship can't handle. I'll go board the small ships and defeat them before they can enter range and potentially set me on fire. But you can see this Date trade ship already took a lot of damage. This Bo Kabaya took a massive hit as well. It looks like it may be taking on water. When you get the right kind of hit on them, they can start taking on water, and eventually they will sink. So Bo Kabaya have very weak hulls, and so it doesn't take much. The cannon, like I said, gets a couple good hits. They take massive damage, so you can see that one Bo Kabaya is already routing. The others are not in good shape. The Date trade ship, not likely to make much of a difference in this battle anyway, and as the Bo Kabayas approach, they will get some fire arrows off, of course. But I'm also going to get some matchlock shots off. The enemy ships here just get absolutely hammered by my Nanban ship. Another volley there, of course. They're going to get as many fire volleys as they can possibly get away with. Their ships now are sinking, though. You can see both of them taking on water and soon to be under the waves. And this one, if it's not going to join them, will actually be shocked, which really just leaves the trade ship, which is now going to take a couple of nasty cannon shots back here. And folks, this one is pretty much over. There's nothing that the Date can do now to stop my ships that are new and improved with the ability to sink. I know, it's crazy. Like I said, cannons have consequences. There goes two of their ships sunk. I think this one may just be surrendered. It may not actually be sinking. Trade ship gone as well, and it is a victory for us. I think this mod is just called something like sinkable ships, but I like to call it the Cannons Have Consequences mod. You know? Cannons have consequences, meaning they rip giant gaping holes in your boat, and they sink. Especially wooden ships. So, yes. As you can tell, I very much approve of this mod. Like, highly approve of it. So there you go. It's a fine demonstration. There's going to be other battles where I'm going to have to continue to sink my enemies, though I'm not going to show all of those to you. Again, just for sake of, you know, keeping this to where I'm not just wasting every episode with multiple small fleet engagements where my much better ships just simply destroy the much inferior ships of our opponents, like this one, for instance. Won't be a particular interest to you, but so I'm not going to show it, but we'll go ahead and sink all their ships. And naval battles are so much more fun now because you don't have to keep fighting the same tattered ships over and over again. Like, you just sink the ships. Makes so much more sense, too, when you're shooting them with large caliber cannons, you know? I don't know, like it just, the whole thing just makes much more sense to me. I'm gonna put this back over here in that stack just to keep my trade fleet safe. I really wanted to beat those Wako pirates though, so they couldn't disrupt this trade port while I'm repairing that fleet that defends it. So we have completed that. Let's take a look elsewhere. I'm still waiting in ambush, hoping to catch the Oda off guard. We are short of money right now. The Oda have yet another daimyo nearby. We just killed most of their family. I'm going to start losing all my agents here because the Oda agent spam has arrived, and when it comes to spamming agents, the AI has more money and better luck than you do, so at some point you can pretty much just kiss your agents goodbye, unless you have been very good from the very beginning of the campaign at leveling up all your agents, and I haven't been perfect at it, or else I would have much better stuff and would be in better shape here. But we'll see what happens. The Oda Shogunate is up on their move here. They're going to bring up a monk to try and get rid of my ninja, and they succeeded. At least it looks like it. There's their inevitable trade route. Yeah, so they used one ship to blockade my fleet that's repairing and robbed me of over 2,000 income. Makes sense. Like I said, it makes sense that you can blockade a port with one ship that's horribly undermanned. That's another mod that I would love to see if such a thing is possible. Okay, we're going to be attacked by the hatakiyama. I'll show you this naval battle because they actually brought a proper fleet. We'll have to watch out for the firebomb kabaya. I'll use my Sengoku Bune to hopefully interrupt them, and then the heavy Bune and the medium Bunes will be easy sink targets for my Nanban ship. So this should be fun, and like I said, I'll show this one. And the battle with the hatakiyama opens with a firebomb kabaya taking a nasty salvo off of my Nanban ship, and I'm going to have to move some of my other ships because I'm very likely... You can shoot your own ships by accident, the cannons, and you have to be very careful of it, and the increased damage that they're doing because of this mod I have is applied to my units as well. But you have to be careful not to sink my own ships. This firebomb kabaya, like I said, it took a nasty shot right off the bat, and it's suffering some pretty extreme hull damage. My support ships in this one, I'm kind of just sitting back at the moment. I mean, I'll probably move in, start to harass some of theirs, but honestly, my Nanban ship's in pretty good shape here because there's really not a lot of firebomb or bow kabayas, which means that the enemy is completely ill-equipped. I mean, what you'd want to do, ideally, is swarm with Sengoku Bune to start a boarding action, and then follow up with firebomb and bow kabayas to set it on fire and render it rather useless. I mean, at least I think that would be the ideal scenario. This firebomb kabaya is sinking. You can see it's listing and taking on water. I really don't want it to get close enough, so I hit it with a volley of flaming arrows to get it to concede, basically. You can see it will soon be under the waves. I've gotten a really good shot off on this medium Bune. So you can see they have taken massive hull damage as well from the cannons. And now I'm going to start working on the other medium Bune because I'm assuming that this one is probably starting the process of sinking as well, and it looks like it is. It's also beginning to list. We must have gotten some shots below the waterline there. There's a firebomb kabaya and Sengoku Bune kind of moving around these islands, and there's a heavy Bune in the back. I'm least concerned about the heavy Bune because it's very slow and doesn't have any cover ships to help it get into melee range. If it did get into melee, it would be a very effective ship. And it's a pretty tall ship too, so if it can get close enough, it's a little easier for it to hit the crew on the deck of my Nanban ship because they're firing from a higher vantage point. You can see this firebomb kabaya in the process of sinking its crew's about to have to take a swim. And this medium Bune is in very bad shape indeed. It is also sinking. So cannons have consequences, folks. Cannons do indeed have consequences. Now this heavy Bune, you ever seen those commercials like Jack Link's beef jerky where it's like messing with Sasquatch? I feel like that's what I like doing with these big heavy ships. Now this heavy ship should own my firebomb kabaya with arrows, but it's singularly focused on attacking my Nanban ship, so you get to do funny stuff, like coming out in front of it and dropping all of these mines so that it can no longer move in that direction, and then starting to pepper it with fire bombs. So I love these heavy ships, like I said, in this situation because they're just not capable of making the right decision. And we're going to see some good explosions here as they're forced to sail over my mines into the fire of my Nanban ship while being peppered with explosive bombs. It's really pretty entertaining, so have a nice swim. So they're going to have to abandon ship. Excellent. Excellent, excellent stuff. So Sengoku Bune was trying to get to me as well. It took a bunch of fire from the Nanban ship. And now it is just a killing floor out here with the firebomb Kabaya single-handedly almost bringing down that heavy Bune. There was a cannon salvo there from the Nanban trade ship, but put its crew into the water. And the hatakiyama now left with very little. They have this firebomb Kabaya that is approaching me. And it is not going to succeed. It's under heavy fire. So it is also going to rout, and that leaves back here just this one trade ship. And so I'm going to have to take a look at that. I've got my own ships I'm going to have to sail over here. I'm going to bring my firebomb Kabaya around as well. And sail it this way. I accidentally bumped into the heavy Bune and caught my firebomb Kabaya on fire. I guess it's living up to its name here. I'm going to have to actually stop and repair it. So nice mistake on my part. And then the enemy trade ship now gets unstuck from this island back here, and I'm going to be able to blast it with cannon fire from the Nanban ship, and it will no doubt succumb to the pressure of superior firepower. Any moment here, we should get a good cannon volley here. Let you all watch it. There it comes. Yeah, it was a close, I think in the water. I think both of those hit the water in front. Yeah, there we go. Some low shots near the water line. And I think you all know where this fight's going to go. I'm just going to fast forward because it's a trade ship and it really has no business being in this fight. And you can see it is absolutely shredded by cannon fire. And is going to be routed. So another victory. Alright, so you can see that our fleets are now proper dangerous for what they should be. Hatakiyama defeated. Just much harder for the enemy to get away with that type of cheese that they normally do. Shibushi? Rest. Trade route rated. Oh, we get all kinds of fun stuff. I wonder if I should just hang out right across this bridge and like get a bridge battle. I should get to defend the bridge crossing if I'm standing on it, right? I'm hoping that'll make this a river crossing battle. Got a lot of troops here, but we need a fight. We're gonna have to win a fight in order to start to gain more ground over the Oda. We're trying to pacify these areas up here, and it would be easier if I had missionaries. I believe we have lost several. So I'm gonna get this one and give him orders to get up there. At least I was going to try to. Apparently. Oh, there's a Date Navy sitting up here. I have to get rid of it. That will work. Come back here. It's like, why wouldn't it let me click my missionary over here? Well, that explains why. Let's check. Do I have churches at any of these places a little closer to the front? I do not at the moment. It's unfortunate. Let's see, recruitment, missionary, Asuke. And I have a missionary who is convalesced here, that needs to come back to the front. And then our Matsuke is hanging in there, so that's fine. That's fine. Let's keep our missionaries coming up front. We've used what little cash we have, because that's just the unfortunate position we're in. We've used our missionary to get a lot of rebellions up here, which is great. I think I'm going to bring this one back and help convert the province that we're standing in. Because now we've created that buffer zone ahead of us where we can try and defeat the Oda. Let's go throw these guys off our trade port again. We can do so with a yeah. So I was being blockaded by a ship with 12 sailors. 10 sailors, 19 in total there, and 30. Yes, I mean, really, you can blockade a port. It is pretty utterly ridiculous. I'm gonna fight this in person just to make sure that they don't actually do any damage to my ship. I'm not gonna show you this, obviously, because it's not gonna be of any interest. Well, that was an effective destruction of our enemies, and our port is once again open for trade. But not before the Oda robbed me of over half my income for that turn, which is always great. But the port is guarded again. We're going to sink this extra ship that we captured that we didn't need. And like I said, we're free. Hopefully make some income on the next turn. They always seem to find a way to rob me of it. So we'll see. Look, these two ships. Raiding my lane there. They'll be back, no doubt. They'll be back, but I'm not going to leave this open where they can get to my port. And let's end the turn, see if we can get a big land battle with the Oda here. That would make me really happy, actually. I'd like to recapture Bison, but we're going to have to soften up the enemy rather substantially. Please don't succeed. One of my better missionaries, and I would rather not lose him to a Matsuki. Yeah, it looks like I did. Hey. Maybe we didn't get hit there. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, you pretty much just start losing all your agents to the enemy. Okay, they are gonna... They approached the bridge, but they didn't actually attack. We lost a little income because they're just raiding the lane. But they can't get to my ports. Really strange. The Oda moved up, but didn't attack me, so they're sitting just across the bridge from me. Apprehension attempt failed. A suspicious death, so we did lose our nice missionary up there. Great. A bribe attempt. Mounting unrest. This is so frustrating. That was one of my better missionaries. It says a suspicious death, but was there anything suspicious about it? We just got screwed by the AI, so... Doesn't seem suspicious at all. It seems rather explainable. Auto-resolve, I swear by everything holy that if you do any damage to me... Thank you. There we go. Not worry about those little hatakiyama fleets, or sorry, the date fleets. Let's just keep moving missionaries. We're gonna lose them probably as soon as they get there, and we probably won't even have any money to let them do anything, but like I said, at least it'll give us something to do to keep the enemy agents busy. Probably gonna be losing 500 gold per turn though, just replenishing agents. Okay, we can't actually recruit any more agents at the moment. Alright. These guys are in my territory, so they're going to take winter attrition, so hopefully that will force them forward. I'd really like to fight this bridge battle. It would make me very happy to get to do so. I want the stupid monk away from my ninja. Let's see if we can get lucky here. Let's watch the ninja video just for fun. This is going to be another drip the poison from the string. I think we saw this one. Hopefully another success, because we had a very high chance of success. I love how the monk has like this whole encampment protecting him too. He was apparently a very important monk. But he didn't survive. Didn't survive. Alright. These two towns, I'm going to have to keep ping-ponging between them. This would be much easier if I had a missionary near here. I do have some money now, though, where I can build the castle. And I can also build up the farmland there. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, we're going to need all of our income not from trade possible, because we're going to continually be harassed when it comes to trade. Speaking of, don't you rip me off. Oh, I just don't trust the auto-resolve, but, I mean, to be fair, I should be able to use it quite safely here. They damaged one of my ships, but wasn't too bad. So, I guess I'll tolerate it. Get rid of this trade ship. My ships look to be in fine shape, honestly, so I'm just going to move back here. Not worry about any retrading. That'll open up our lanes. It's a pretty sizable navy here, but like I said, now that I can sink ships, these guys won't be getting anywhere near our trade ports. So I think we just need to end another turn. Kind of see what we turn up with here. Hopefully a battle. That's what I would really like. I feel like this game is very much lacking in, like, kind of non-settlement battles. The AI seems very hesitant to ever fight you in those battles. Oh, please don't succeed. Oh, good. They did come fight us. I do believe we should get the bridge crossing. I mean, that's what it should be based on where I'm standing. Whether or not we do, it obviously thinks they're still going to win, but if it really is a bridge crossing, they are screwed. Like, well and truly screwed. Let's fight this one.
Monodomo, ご苦労じゃ。お家の心情に従い、愚かな真似はせず、あのバカどもの地獄行きを手助けしてやれば、今日はきっと良い日になる。あの人でなしの野獣どもの主君は天下統一を狙っておる。我らを皆奴隷にするつもりじゃ。なんたる傲慢、なんたる愚行。織田の軍勢、死んだ万象の中で最も愚かな存在だ。もし誰かがそれを奴らに説いても、織田は耳を貸さんじゃろうがの。今日敵が橋を渡ってくるのを阻むが大事。奴らの一歩一歩に血が代償となることを知らしめてやれ。今日の戦、お主らに不名誉は一切ない。お主らは一門の歴史に名誉ある一環を書き加えるだけじゃ。
Alright, so it is indeed a choke point map. I tested some stuff previously on Shogun 2 with choke points. It's actually really hard to get the match locks to operate the way I want in the choke point, like, or closer to it. They don't fire a lot because there's like all these strange dips, and then you just end up with them getting bum rushed without hardly taking a shot. So I backed them up a little further in order to make sure we get some matchlock shots, but more importantly, it's going to force the enemy army into a mostly column-type formation into the hands of my waiting general and his stand-and-fight formation, which is going to make my Yari wall and katana basically indefeatable. They're upgraded as it is, and then they're going to have that stand-and-fight in place. It's going to make them extraordinarily powerful. You can see the enemy's still going to come right into the waiting arms of my matchlocks. The Terracos are going to start mowing them down. They are in fire by rank. So we should be able to maximize their initial volleys here. Completely mowed down that front unit. I have a Nagi Samurai here on the flank to protect against any cavalry or other charges. I'm going to see a Katana Samurai. These guys are charging. I'm going to have to fall back with the Terracos. And then I have my waiting Yari wall, so my bows and Terracos will fall back. The Yari wall will pick them up, and then we'll charge in Katana Samurai from behind the Yari wall. Like I said, basically make it an impenetrable melee fort here. And my cavalry is hiding in the woods, by the way, for anything that decides to try and sneak past. It'll get a nasty surprise. So you can see the enemy pushing forward, trying to push what they hope is an advantage. They didn't put their two armies together before charging, though. So this does give me the advantage of being able to fight one army at a time. My Katana Samurai are now going to enter combat. My Nagi Samurai are able to hold off these Katana Cavalry. on this flank.
Our general is in grave danger,
They're gonna pop a few shots at my general, but he's actually not in any huge danger, despite what the announcer says. My Yari cavalry, at least one of them, I'm gonna try and swing around the flank here. I am under some bow fire, but I decide instead, I think, to help charge these katana cavalry and get rid of them, because they're a fairly dangerous unit. I want them off the battlefield. Over here, I'm gonna bring my my shotgun cavalry to bear on their archers. You can see there was actually, I think this was one of the elite katana cavalry. No, it's just a standard katana cavalry unit. One of their elite ones is actually fighting towards the middle here. Yeah, Kiyomasa's katana cavalry. Back here, I'm going to use my Dunderbuss cavalry to absolutely unleash on these bow samurai. Finish them off quickly, so it's going to be an absolutely devastating volley from the Dunderbuss cavalry, decimating these bow samurai almost entirely and pushing them back. And so the first wave of enemies is going to be summarily defeated here with very few casualties overall for my army, but very obviously egregious casualties for the enemy. You can see their elite katana cavalry being mowed down. And that's that. So their reinforcing army is coming from behind. It has a great number of Oda, bow ashigaru, and they also have some bow samurai. Not a lot of infantry in the second stack, but it's going to be coming forward. I'm going to fast forward, and I'll show you what I prepare for them. Alright, so the second wave is here, and I moved up my Portuguese Tercos just to kind of show you all what happens when you try and control the choke point directly. With your matchlocks, obviously their bows will outrange you, so you'll start to take bow fire. Fortunately, the armor of my Tercos, though, does help. You can certainly get some nice volleys off when you place your matchlocks here, so you'll see that. You're gonna get some very nice shots off and do quite a lot of damage, but it'll be limited shots. Again, just this terrain, you can see that this unit over here barely fired at all, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and fall back again. But what you can do with this choke point now is I can bottle up the enemy infantry even more than I previously did and drive them back. So I've fallen back with my missile units, the Yari wall meets their charge, and then I countercharge them with my own katana samurai through the back of the Yari wall. And this creates an effective 1-2 punch here. Stand and fight still being used by my general. So big melee buffs to all my units fighting here. You can see that they'll have some nasty stats on them. I mean, that's just a Yari Ashigaru there that you're seeing those 6 stats on. Even bigger stats, 22 melee attack. Some of my katana samurai. And once they've broken the enemy infantry, they're just going to come charging through the choke point. There is one final enemy Yari samurai, Nagi samurai that is here. It's going to pretty quickly rout because it's under bow fire and being pursued by a huge bunch of katana samurai, and then that's going to leave their archers vulnerable here too now, because that's all they have left, and they're blobbed up attempting to get into range. So the AI is going to take heavy losses again here as my katana samurai get in here and very easily start shredding through these soft archers. They're no longer in range of a stand and fight, but that doesn't really much matter. They're going to be more than capable of hacking their way through archers and the enemy routes, and I give them the courtesy of kind of following them out and destroying a bunch of them with Donderbuss cavalry, so I'll show you that. Just get you one more good volley from the Donderbuss cavalry, because I think you all appreciate this. I know I appreciate it. This helps get me more veterancy on my units by mopping these up afterwards, and also it's just very satisfying to see the kill count rising. So yeah, my troops are gonna easily mop their way through these routers. Anyway, I will see you all in the next battle. And once again, our daimyo has proved that no shogun of the Oda is any match to himself in combat. Donderbuss cavalry, 419 kills, 295 to another. It's actually harder to use my Portuguese Tercos in this battle than I thought it would be. But they did manage to still get some kills and soften up the enemy before they were absolutely slaughtered by my units, who were supported by my daimyo, who was in the stand and fight. And you can see my katana samurai were having a day of it, as well as with the nagi samurai. They get massive buffs. And so a clear victory will send the Oda packing and probably give us the ability to go retake Bison. Going to be attacked by the large fleet here, and we'll have to defend this as well. This will be the largest naval battle we've fought so far in the episode. The enemy fleet is big, but again, there's really only a few ships that are any threat to me because the AI doesn't use their melee ships properly. They have four melee ships here, which should be very dangerous, but they won't use them properly. These need to rush and swarm the black ship, hopefully giving their missile ships a little more room to maneuver. You'll notice I'm just ignoring the Sengoku Bune because they're actually no threat to me. I'm going to fire immediately at the bow and firebomb kabayas because they will be the highest priority targets. I'm going to move my own ships to kind of get in the way and intercept. I'm going to attempt a boarding here with my Sengoku Bune. They're going to try and put a grapple hook on to the enemy here. You can see someone swinging it. See whether we get a grapple. Oh, there's quite a toss there. He's a boss. So we do manage to grapple it, but we're not really in a good position to maneuver and get it, so Firebomb Kabaya and Bow Kabaya, though, doing some nice damage over here. You can see that the enemy Sengoku Bune did get on the receiving end of a lot of matchlock fire. And I've also put a pretty good hit down on their medium Bune. You can see that this side of the hull extremely damaged. The entire fleet has taken massive damage here because my support ships have moved in. The Nanban ship is just unleashing it on them. So the enemy fleet just gets absolutely savaged on its first pass. Though they did get a single volley of flaming arrows, and of course it manages to set my ship on fire. It's always how it is. It takes forever for your ship to stop being on fire. So in the meantime, I'm just going to use my support ships to try and finish this one off. There is this OTOMO Shogunate medium Bune is moving in our direction. Again, though, don't really expect a lot of problems out of it. Basically every other ship for the OTOMO Shogunate is already routing. I'm going to bring my Firebomb Kabaya back around and potentially get to work on some of these ships, but also my Nanban ship should be done with the very small fire here soon. But again, you can see my Firebomb Kabaya coming across the path. I think you all know what I'm about to do here. We're going to spam some mines. There we go. I'm going to drop all three of them in right in front of the medium Bune and give it nowhere to go except forward. Though it does look like they might get past the mines over here. They were just slightly out of position, but my Firebomb Kabaya gets some hits on it regardless. And this medium Bune does just barely avoid my mines, unfortunately. But still gets absolutely savaged and destroyed. And another naval victory for us. Alright, and we succeeded. Not unsurprisingly there. We have complete naval domination now, as it should be, as we have prepared for. I feel like this mod finally makes it be what it should. Yet another fleet battle here, though this won't be much to see, so I'm probably not going to show this one. Just sync these guys up real good with the black ship. Boy, the black ship is absolutely terrifying now, which is great. It should be. So, glad to see it as it should. We got a full income on the end of that turn. And apparently someone was tried and imprisoned. So, wow, yeah, that's the first time in many, many turns that we have taken on a full income. This... Okay. Took care of our Metsuke that leveled up. We gained a massive victory outside of Bison. So this was huge. The enemy daimyo did manage to live, unfortunately, so that is not what I had hoped for. We do have a pretty sizable garrison here, but we can basically just siege them out. And if they approach with more armies, I will know. I've already put these kind of like buffer territories in some places. Let's see, we've got to get our army to ping pong back over here. While we attempt to bring happiness to these understandably angry settlements. The hatakiyama are blocking our path across, so let's convince them that this is foolish. And I don't think this will be hard to convince them. So I'm going to auto-resolve here and hope to goodness they don't screw me over. They didn't. Excellent. So we can continue guarding our trade assets. And meanwhile, we'll start moving up yet more agents. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, my gold mine is fairly upgraded. Oh my goodness, we can get much more gold out of it by spending 2,000 here. It'll take 12 turns, but by the time we get it, it'll be very much worth it. So that will be a huge benefit to us. While I have some money, it's not a great chance, but I am going to attempt assassination here. Probably going to skip this video. Enemy wounded. Hey, that's better than nothing. I'll take it. One more agent that's kind of off my case for a moment. Looks like both of my ninjas here got into trouble. Oh, ninja increased in rank. Excellent. So, let's see. Chance ninja will avoid detection. Subterfuge when assassinating will be great. I think I'm just going to save his skill points because there's nothing I really want to spend them on at the moment. It's only a level 1 ninja here, so I can't expect that much out of him. Just not likely he's gonna... Well, I mean, this is only a level 1 Metsuke as well. And it's a relatively cheap attempt here. So let's give it a shot. Oh, alright. Well, we didn't lose much there. And the enemy is sieged in, so we're going to be in a good position to take Bison. Finally have a little cash. I'm probably going to save up a little more. There's really no way the AI can disrupt my trade operations anymore. They can do small amounts of damage like this. Oh, hang on. There's some boats here that I didn't get rid of. Let's do so. That's what I thought. Alright, so trade routes fully opened. Our island is defended. And we are in pretty solid shape at the moment, other than just trying to move some agents up here to the front to help convert and stabilize these provinces that we're capturing along the way in Honshu. And we will soon have those missionary assets in place. A little bit of reinforcements coming up for Oda, not much. Might be able to use my ninja to sabotage that army, but he's probably going to get killed by this Metsuke. Same here. Alright, they're going to come out and fight me. Fantastic. This is what we want.
Monodomo, ご苦労じゃ。お家の心情に従い、愚かな真似はせず、あのバカどもの地獄行きを手助けしてやれば、今日はきっと良い日になる。あの人でなしの野獣どもの主君は天下統一を狙っておる。我らを皆奴隷にするつもりじゃ。なんたる傲慢、なんたる愚行。織田の軍勢、神羅万象の中で最も愚かな存在だ。もし誰かがそれを奴らに説いても、織田は耳を貸さんじゃろうがの。敵方の戦意が落ちていることは兵の数を見れば一目瞭然。数も少なければ兵力も大したことはない。今日の戦、お主らに不名誉は一切ない。お主らは一門の歴史に名誉ある一環を書き加えるだけじゃ。
Well, the Oda Shogunate is trying to sally out of Bison and see if they can defeat my troops. They have brought a bow to a shotgun fight, though, and we're going to see how that turns out for them. I have my Yari cavalry and Donderbus cavalry moving in to harass them on the approach, while my main army is set up in the nearby field. You're going to see here. Woo! Nice spray of blood there. So my Donderbus cavalry gets in here and gets a nice shot. So far the AI hasn't stopped and fired on my Donderbus cavalry, so I'm kind of testing the reaction here, and right now I like the reaction, so I'm going to get bold and try and get more cheeky Donderbus kills here. So I'm going to go right up in front of the entire enemy army. And on this time, they kind of call my bluff, and they stop, and they're going to unload a savage flaming arrow volley and kill a bunch of my Donderbus cavalry, which was really sad. And then their katana samurai are going to charge me. So I'm going to have to move out of the way and fall back with the Donderbus cavalry, and I'm going to move my Yari cavalry around behind the AI, and now I'm just going to wait for them to come to the loving arms of my Portuguese soldiers, who are very anxious to greet the Oda Shogunate properly. This nice flat spot here, I'll let you see what happens. My own bows are unleashing some flaming volleys. They're going to unleash theirs. They have an archer supremacy here, but obviously we have the missile supremacy because of the Tercos. Get you all some sweet Terco action here. You can see there is a pretty savage exchange of missiles here. Getting a little bit of a Tosa shuffle effect on my Tercos, unfortunately. The AI is going to charge in. I'll let you see what they're doing. And I'm going to use the same strategy here. Stand and fight, Yari wall to block, Katana Samurai to charge. And I'm going to bring my shotgun cavalry back out for some more antics now that the AI is completely focused on my main line. We're going to get in here and be able to cause a ton of damage. Look at that, another bow samurai unit completely and utterly annihilated. Dunderbuss cavalry are absolutely amazing at what they do. They are just so good at it. You can see the enemy mainline fight is not going well for the Oda Shogunate. My Yari cavalry actually killed the we killed the Shogun. He was somewhere in this fight here, but his bodyguard fell to my Yari cavalry. The remainder of their troops are going to rout, and they will be unceremoniously executed by my Donderbus cavalry while they flee. So we have obtained a victory at Bison. Alright, a decisive victory again, and Bison is again under our control, so we are going to occupy it. Should drive our income up higher, especially once we get things rolling there. It's a rather large settlement. Alright, the Date have an army aboard that fleet. They could land something behind us, so we'll have to keep an eye out. Tried and executed, that's good. 2 tried and executed, excellent. Didn't want those agents anyway. Right? We didn't want those agents anyway. Alright, so their fleet's a little ways back. Let's minister to this settlement. You minister to this settlement. Gonna have to ping pong back to this one. And finishing a castle there. We got some sea lane raiding back here. Nothing too significant. We'll take care of that on the next episode. And nothing to be worried about back here. Bison under our control. It has this criminal syndicate, which is great. The rice exchange will keep. There's a sword school and an armory here as well, which I think I'll keep the armory. Well, I mean, actually, I don't really need either one of these. I think I'm going to tear down at least one of them at the moment and work on getting some Christian church in there, basically. Build up the farms a little here. Make a little more income. So I think we're in pretty good shape. So things have improved this turn. We've been able to hold everything. We still need to capture Mimasaka and Inaba, and we'll just kind of keep moving towards Kyoto, which is not terribly far away. Once we get our agents caught up to us and hopefully alive for more than a turn or two, we'll be able to keep at it here. I'm just going to have to keep spamming out agents. So, let's see. Give these agents orders to move up front. And we got this Matsuke we recruited. I'm not sure where the one we had was killed. Maybe back here, so send him to oversee that settlement. Alright. Anyway, that's going to be all the time we have for this episode, so I would say pretty successful. We're holding our own just fine. We're approaching Realm Divide, probably rather close to it, I would imagine. The good thing for us, though, is that Realm Divide is not going to be much different than the current state of things, just because basically everybody is at war with us anyway, and so we know that our income can survive, we know that our armies are effective, and that we're still putting together a push, despite basically everybody being against us, so it should work out just fine. Anyway, I will see you all in the next episode. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.